So here I have a Suzuki GS450, and today I want to show you how to check the valve clearances on this particular bike. There's probably a lot more engines that are similar to this one and have the same way of how to do it, and that's what I'm going to show you in this small video. If you like my content, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment and hit the bell so you'll be notified of more videos. But for today, it's just going to be these valve clearance things. I'll just have a few tips for you, what you need to buy, and how it actually works. So, hope you enjoy this video, and let's dive into this. So one of the main things you're going to need is, of course, a bike. Now this one I'm rebuilding. This engine has been completely rebuilt. It's actually 3 engines turned into one, but it gave me a cool opportunity to show you how this works. So that's why I'm doing it now. The first thing you're going to need, and that's my big advice first, is get a workshop manual. This is a Haynes manual. There's Climber as well. Get a manual that corresponds with the bike, because in that there is information on the size that it should be, like the tolerances and stuff like that, and also the info how to do it, so you can get sort of reminders and stuff how to do this. There are some other bits and pieces that you're going to need, and I'm just going to show you that right now. So here's the manual. I've already got it on the page that I need, so this is where it's all described how to do it and what I'm going to show you. As you can see, I've got a few tools, bits and pieces here, and I'm going to run by these and show you what you're going to need. So of course you're going to need to get the valve cover off. You just need a 10mm socket to get those off, and obviously I've got a bit of room here as well, so remove the tank and make sure you can get in and have some room to work with. I've also taken the coils off, so that just makes for a better space to work in. Secondly, you're going to need a tool like this. Now this is a Suzuki tool, and I highly recommend you get one of these. They're about 10 to 20 euros, I think. You can make your own tool. It's even stated in the manual, but I've tried that, and you'll actually just ruin your engine. So just get this tool. It makes it so much easier. I'll show you how it works later on. You're also going to need some shims. These are the shims we're going to be using. And on the back, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, it actually says what size it is. So this is a 260, this one is a 255, and I've already done mine, so I know what I need. So I bought some new shims. This is a 240 and a 235, so that should work out for me. So shims is something you're gonna need. The other tool you're gonna need is the valve clearance measurement tool. Now these are not expensive at all for you. So these are the valve clearance thingies, and they are really tiny and thin, and the size is on the side of these things. So this is 0.04 millimeters, this little floppy thingy. So you're gonna need one of these, and this one has a range of 0.02 up until 1 millimeter thick. I don't know what that is in inches, but I guess you guys will figure that out. The other thing is a small, like, tweezer or a pliers like this with a tipped nose, and I like to use a small screwdriver or slightly bigger, but small one is easier to help and wiggle the shim out. What is it that we're actually going to do? Well, this is a valve that sits in the top of the cylinder, of course. It goes down and it's built up like this. Sticks it through, then you get one of these plates. There's a spring, a double spring actually, another one of these. There is also a valve seal thingy, what's it called? I'll put it down below, I keep forgetting what it's called. And there's like little grommets like these, and they are put on top over here. Once it's in, and that's how it's secured inside the inside the cylinder top. So this shim holder is top, and the shim sits in here, and the lobe of the camshaft pushes this down. As it goes round, it extends, of course, the lobe comes down and it pushes this entire unit down, pushing the valve in and out. The thicker the shim is, the further that valve is going to go down, of course. These shims, at some point they wear, or these springs wear, and that's why you need to change these every now and again. I don't know the exact interval, I think it's in the manual somewhere, but every now and again you have to check it. And maybe if you get some more smoke, like oil is coming through, or the timing just doesn't seem to be correct, then you can check the valve clearances. Also do this on a cold engine, that's very important. We're going to go up top, see how it's fitted, but these are the things we're going to be changing out. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the valve cover, which we should be able to do, I hope, with one hand. Alright, there it goes. And remove the gasket. And this one's actually a bit damaged, so I've got a new one. Alright, so this is what we're working with. These are the camshafts. These are the lobes on both sides. And underneath those lobes, you can see that bucket. So this thing sits underneath over here, and in between, of course, is a shim, and the goal is to get that shim out. So I need to replace this one. This one's too thick. I need to lower it down because this engine is a complete rebuild. Usually you have to go up, but I need to go down in this case. What the manual says right here is the position of the lobes. So you can put it in position A, so upwards, or B, towards the front or towards the back, and that's the point where you be able to get your valve clearances. So this is a 0.02, and you're going to try and fiddle that in between there. Now this one won't go, so you need to be able to push that through. Not easy, not hard, but just slightly tight, and this one's not okay. In order to remove the camshafts, of course, you're going to need a 19mm socket, and you're going to put that on the side over here, and you can just rotate the engine like so. It's pretty hard to do with one hand. Now the tolerance should be 0.03 or 0.08 millimeters. If you get underneath or above that range, you have to change the shim. And I'm going to change this one. So of course this lobe is now pushing down onto the bucket and the shim. So there's no way of moving that out. So what this tool does is it keeps the camshaft, that's going to stay in one place, but this is going to push that little bucket down just far enough for us to pick up that shim and put in a new one. And that's what you need this tool for, to push that bucket down. So this is that little bucket with the shim on top, and what this tool does is it kind of goes, I'm not sure I can show you that, but there's like a little edge here, as you can see, and it's going to push it along the edge. So it's going to push down onto the side of the little bucket, pushing the bucket down and not pushing on that little shim, and that's going to give you just enough clearance to take it out. And each bucket has this little notch out, and you need to orient that towards you so you can get a little screwdriver in there, so you can lift up that shim, and then you're going to take a little plier and you're going to take it out. So that's how you do it. Fiddling this little tool in, it takes a bit of practice. If it sits correctly, you can push it down, you can see the bucket go down, and it will stay in place. If that doesn't work, then you have to place it correctly. It's basically that simple. So I'm going to do that right now. It's a bit fiddly up there, and I hope I can get it on camera, but that's why I need this tool to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to show you this, but we have to get the lobe correct first. So I'm just going to rotate the engine a bit more. So I want this lobe facing upwards. So like that. Alright, so I'm going to position the tool in here. And this is always really fiddly. When you hear it flopping, you know it's not correct. So you guys are kind of in the way, so I'm going to try my best to do this. Alright, I've got it. Oh, I haven't. Slide it off. Come on. And that's why I need space above it, because this is so fiddly. Just gonna put some oil on this thing. Ah, damn it. Nearly got it. Yeah, I have it. As you can see, the tool is now in place. So as you can see, it's stuck right there, and now we can get the shim off. So I'll put my screwdriver in there, or anything else, and just leave it like that. So as you can see, the shim is now facing upwards. I take my little plier thingy, and you can take it out. There's the shim. Now there's one thing you have to be really careful of, not to drop anything down here. So it's a good idea to put some rags in here to prevent stuff falling in. But there you can see the bucket. It's still pressed down by the tool on the edge. Now I'm gonna fit my 235 shim in there, which I got. So there you can see 235. Always put the letters downwards so they don't wear. Otherwise they're gonna disappear over time. I kind of push this in, and there it sits. So these shims are 29.50 millimeters in diameter. Other bikes have smaller ones, they vary, and all you do now is take the tool out again, and now we should have a lot more clearance. I can actually see the clearance, so maybe this is a bit too much. So let's go with 0.08 to this one, which is the highest it's allowed to be, and I can push straight through. So I can go underneath. So this may be too much. I'm going to change it anyway. I changed it. The clearance is now 0.06 millimeters. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to give the engine some time to adjust as soon as I get it running again, and then I'll check the clearances again, and maybe adjust as I see necessary. But that's basically how you do it. Once you do it, I've done it a couple of times, it's a lot easier. My advice would be to get as much room as you can, and of course get this tool. Really get this tool. So I hope that helped you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Give me a like I said, subscribe, and join me as I continue working on this engine. Alright, cheers. Thank you for watching, and good luck wrenching. Bye.